How are brands and publishers using social media today as opposed to 3 years ago? First of all, it's no longer a question of if, but now's the time, right? And there's mass adoption across the board. The numbers are staggering, with 600 million users on Facebook, spending 25% of all time spent on social platforms, all time spent on the internet on social platforms worldwide. It obviously needs to be addressed immediately and in a fairly comprehensive manner. So I think the way the strategies are breaking down are sort of across two lines. One is the offsite piece, which I think is probably most intuitive for marketers and publishers, which is making social media synonymous with offsite, saying Facebook fans, Twitter followers, YouTube strategy, listening, right? These are all tactics and ultimately a holistic strategy around offsite. But there's a whole nother side to social media strategy, which is the on-site piece, right? What can I be doing on my website in order to build this layer of social connectivity, social engagement, which is going to really increase the amount of data that I know about my user, increase that sort of one-to-one dialogue between my brand and that user, and also giving that user a voice on my site to amplify what they're doing and create that sort of peer-to-peer marketing effect, which until social really came into the scene just wasn't possible. Gigya works a lot with web publishers, first of all. So media companies like CBS, ABC, NBC, Turner, Reuters, Martha Stewart, NFL, Fox News, Fox Sports, many, many others. However, some of the largest brands online are also publishers of web content, right? So Coca-Cola, for instance, uses Gigya on a good percentage of the 300 to 400 websites that they build on an annual basis for content sharing, right? So anytime a user is incented to or motivated to share a video or a gameplay or a piece of content that they've designed on their own on a website, then Gigya is going to power that sharing. Another great example is Coca-Cola built a website called E206, and it stands for Expedition 206. It just mentioned earlier by the marketing head at Coke that Coca-Cola is in 206 countries. So they ran a contest where 3 ambassadors were selected to travel to 206 countries in 365 days, which is a pretty amazing itinerary. And Gigya powered that website in many ways. So on the homepage, if you go to expedition206.com, you're going to see a live chat widget or plugin where users can chat with the ambassadors, but they can also chat with their friends by connecting via a social network without ever leaving the website, right? So that's what I mean about building that layer of social connectivity from the website itself. Publishers and advertisers alike are jumping on the like bandwagon, and it's a great way to sort of start a social CRM effort. And I think it makes sense that they sort of jump into that pool, even though they are giving Facebook a lot of that data. A way to sort of even the equation on the data collection side is to build social connections specifically from your site. So, for example, anytime a user comes to register or log into your website, they can either register with their typical username and password, their email address, etc., or they can register through Facebook, or they could register through Google or LinkedIn or Twitter. And by doing that, you're actually collecting all of that user's profile information yourself. Okay, so login is one use case. Then social sharing, it can be the same. Instead of just sharing directly to Facebook, the user can connect with your website, give you all of their profile information, and then go ahead and share. Whenever a user logs in via a social provider on your website, then you, the publisher or the advertiser, now have full access to that user's profile. You also have access to that user's social graph, so you know who their friends are. And so in fact, Facebook becomes a critical data collection and sort of CRM tool for you, the publisher, and it's not just a one-sided equation. So you have to differentiate between Facebook's plugins like the like button, where Facebook's collecting all of the data, and Facebook's API, where it takes a little bit of work to integrate onto your website, but now you're going to be able to collect just as much data as Facebook is as it relates to your site. And I actually think it becomes even more important when you start talking about some of the topics here, which is third-party behavioral data becoming more and more sort of contentious with congressional action and the do not track functionality on browsers. So now you as a publisher need to start collecting first-party behavioral data, and this is a critical component of that. So in fact, to your point, Facebook is going to collect a ton of data. They are going to be huge on that side of the fence as time goes on. However, you can leverage Facebook and the other social providers to start to build a treasure trove of data for your own property as well. The Facebook like button, I think, is more of a short-term play. It's more of an immediate benefit that you're going to see in just a certain number of users like your brand. But if you can get a user to connect on your site, that's the beginning of a long-term dialogue where you can really start to track all of the social activity of that user on your site and start to use it to target as a premium behavioral bucket to your advertisers. If Coca-Cola is paying Fox Sports to reach young males, they're going to pay a premium to reach socially influential young males, right? And so that's the piece of it that we're very focused on.